October is National ADHD Awareness Month and brings to light many kids in our community and even adults who are affected by ADHD in their work, in their school, in their social life, and so many other ways. While there's many common misconceptions about what ADHD is and how it manifests in day-to-day life, this is the month where we take time to investigate further and understand just how it does affect people in Greater West Bloomfield, how we can help them in everyday life, make their experience a little more comfortable, and of course understand what they're going through as well. Joining me with more information is Dr. Barry Jay from the Center for Integrated Psychology, where he serves as their director. Dr. Jay, thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Glad to have you on to talk about this ADHD. Lots of common misconceptions about it. People have their assumptions like they do many other neurological or psychological conditions that affect people commonly in our society. Could you briefly explain what ADHD is and how it affects both children and adults in communities like ours?
ADHD is most evident in little kids who are hyperactive. They're disruptive, they don't listen, and that the problem is a brain problem, particularly in the frontal lobe. That's the area of the brain that we concentrate, organize, prioritize, and this area is not working well in these kids. In fact, 60% of all 4-year-old children meet the criteria for ADHD. As children mature, their brains mature, that number begins to change. So statistics suggest that 1 in 6 children in America have ADD. And in adults, 4 to 5% of the general population do.
And so, Dr. Jay, we've in the past heard some differences. We've heard some people with ADD or some people with ADHD. Some have even said maybe it's true, maybe it's not, that they're sort of an interchangeable diagnosis. Is there a difference? Are these now sort of lumped together?
It's a brain thing, and they manifest differently. So with adults, people have the same hard time focusing because of the problem in the frontal lobe and controlling their impulses and paying attention, so that by supporting the brain, particularly the frontal lobe, and making it work better, people aren't troubled by the symptoms of ADD. So that if you have these issues, your world can feel chaotic, that it's hard to stay focused and complete tasks, and you have a number of failures in your life, that you're forgetful about things and don't finish tasks. And that in terms of relationships, your life can be an emotional roller coaster. And so those are the things, the way that ADD shows up in adults, and are some of the reasons why it needs to be attended to.
And so there's a lot of misconceptions, too, about ADHD or ADD, both consistently, about how it affects people, both children and adults. What are some of those common misconceptions that we may encounter in everyday society that those that aren't affected by ADD or ADHD may not be aware of or may even believe themselves?
That people are bad and they're responsible for what they're doing and they need to be punished or ostracized. Those are some of the big problems with ADD. And that people, including adults, have to get a grip on their own symptom picture, and that they can do that by supporting their brain, by eating the right food, getting enough sleep, by identifying it, knowing what's going on, and through treatment techniques. One of the treatments that we do here at the Center for Integrative Psychology is neuromodulation. We have electrodes we can put on the head and send stimulation into the brain to the areas that need support to help those areas function better, so that it's easier then for that individual to pay attention, complete tasks, control their impulses, and learn to relate more easily with other people in the world.
And then for parents and for adults alike, if they suspect that they may have ADHD or maybe they're displaying some of the symptoms, how much does early intervention and getting those treatments started play into the outcomes from that treatment being effective, especially for kids, as I would imagine when they're younger, if they get that treatment started early on, it will have a more consistent outcome as they get into the further parts of their development.
As I mentioned before, 60% of 4-year-olds meet criteria for ADD, but as their brains mature, the problems that they have because of it are less. I think that's true for everyone, that we all need our brains to work properly, and when we do, our life will have less problems in it. That includes school, relationships, our jobs.
And then for parents, if they do notice these symptoms, educators alike, individuals alike, what are the first steps that they should take to either seek diagnosis and or seek some of those treatment methods that you've already mentioned can be so effective in helping people live with ADHD, treat their ADHD, and overcome some of those symptoms that may hamper them in day-to-day life?
To find a psychologist or a mental health worker who can help you identify is there ADHD. They'll likely give you a quiz rating your child, and then from the results of the quiz, start giving you suggestions about how you can help that person's brain to mature.
More information can be found on brainoptimizationmi.com. That is the website for the Center for Integrative Psychology, where their director, Dr. Barry J., joins us on the Splash Live today to talk about ADHD as we are in ADHD Awareness Month. Dr. J., before we let you go, what message do you have for the public during this month, especially for those that may be struggling with ADHD or those that may misunderstand what this is all about getting this information out to the public so that they better understand what ADHD actually is, how it's treated, and how it affects people in our community every day?
When I was a kid, people were ashamed of going to a therapist. It meant that there was something wrong with your brain, that you were wacko. I am very pleased to see a shift in our society of acceptance for mental health work, and to realize its importance and how much it can shift things in our children's lives and in our lives. So I say pursue finding someone that can help you, someone that you feel comfortable relating to, who's knowledgeable. It can help guide you in this process. It can make it better.
The Center for Integrative Psychology is located in West Bloomfield with service areas in Birmingham, Farmington Hills, Walled Lake, and Southfield. Joining us on the show today is Dr. Barry J., the director of the Center for Integrative Psychology. Dr. J., thank you so much for joining us today on the Splash Live to tell us more.
Thank you.